go acquire a skill. For any young man who's looking to enter the workforce before going to college, that's happening a lot all across the United States. Most men are failing to go to college, not wanting to put any effort in putting in for their education because they'd rather work. They're too lazy. We're too distracted with our phones. We're more focused on making girls happy, right? Especially for young men, even older men past their 30s, right? We're more focused on pleasing others, specifically women, as opposed to taking care of our brains, taking care of acquiring skills to make money later on. And what's happening is more women are entering college campuses, 64% more than men, that are more focused on careers, more focused on their future, while men are more focused on the now. They're not really planning the future, right? Don't be that dude, all right? If you can get a job, and I mean this sincerely, if I had to go back and I had to learn a skill, whether that be becoming a plumber or an electrician, you might look at it as a job that's hard, dirty, and isn't worth your time because you're not going to get paid what you want because you're going to start off from the bottom. But in any industry you enter, you're going to enter the bottom. No matter how much education you have, whether it be 4-year degree, whether it be a master's, you're going to start off at the bottom. But why not, if you're already not going to college, which much of y'all won't be, is why don't you get a job that's going to acquire skills that can benefit you later on? And the reason this is so important to every young man is there's going to be a big disparity in salary between men and women moving forward for the next 10 years. You don't want to be that dude that's making way less than the woman that you're with, because then you know what happens as a man. You feel a sense of obligation to look up to her, to a sense of pride goes out the door from that. And if you're okay with that, then maybe this message isn't for you. But as a man, as being a provider, through the eyes of most generational men that want a better relationship with your spouse, better maybe even control of your relationship, right? You lose control when you're not making the same amount of money as your wife because she wears the pants to the house. She dictates how she wants it and the rules are placed in the home, right? Let's be honest with ourselves. That's what's going to happen. And a lot of times we're going to be, there's going to be big disputes about that. And a lot of women are looking for men that are making the same kind of salary that they are. They don't want to level down, right? So if you're not leveling up in the next 10 years, if you're not acquiring your skills, you're going to end up not being even more angry with women. You're going to end up making you're going to hear more podcasts about how women empowerment is going through the roof and they forgot about the men and yada yada. But as a man, you got to take responsibility for your life. All right, you got to take actions for yourself moving forward. You got to plan ahead. You got to plan your future. And that's the lack that I did. I'm trying to help you guys to make you understand, to expedite this quicker. Now, there's a lot of time you have, right? There's a lot of time you have because people say, oh, you don't have all the time in the world. There's a lot of time you have because the internet made that possible, right? The internet made it possible for you to acquire any skills and then share it online and benefit from that as well. So if you want to be an influencer instead and focus on that, fine. But as you acquire skills, right, in whatever industry you perform, whether it's plumbing, electrician, construction, these are good skills to have because they're not going to stop building houses. We've already seen what's happening in the industry in real estate, why home prices went skyrocketing. There's not enough supply and demand. There's not enough supply for it. So they're going to have to build more homes essentially, right? Or they're going to have to start, they're never going to stop constructing things, right? And if you're worried about AI taking over that, good luck with that. That's probably way past our lifetime for people to be building robots. Maybe they'll build more manufactured homes. But as far as the construction side of it, you're always going to have a job. There's always a skill for it. People need plumbing fix. People need this fix, especially out in California. I don't know where you guys live, but there's always work to be done for this. And if there's less people entering that workforce, think about what that does to you. Think about the pricing you can perform when you go in and you fix something when the competition is less, when there's less people to compete against. That creates an opportunity for you to dictate how much pricing you want for yourself. What I'm trying to get to you guys is, as a man, you have to start now. And maybe it is a time constraint because 10 years from now, the salary disparity is going to get much greater. And as a man, to be able to provide for your family, you're going to have to level up. If you're not going to school, which most of you are not going to be going to college campuses because you guys are thinking you're going to be the next Elon Musk to create some rocket ship or something, which isn't going to happen, okay? I'm not here to kill your dreams, but most of y'all need the education. Fine, you don't want to be educated by a system that's programmed you to think a certain way and be a certain way. But what that's going to create is more job opportunities for the girls that do have a degree, that do have the skills, or not the skills, but the knowledge to be able to get in the door in those jobs, right? They might not have the skills yet, but once they enter that workforce, you need to enter because you don't have a college degree, whether it's whatever jobs they have in the market as far as marketing and their AI and anything with computers generated stuff, they're going to enter those jobs. They're going to have the benefits because they went to college, right? But as a man, you're going to be left behind thinking you have all this time, you have your youth. Take advantage of that, especially if you're living at home. You're not paying any rent. You're not paying any bills. Go ahead and take advantage of that and acquire those skills. Work with somebody underneath them for a year. Even if you're not getting paid, you're living at home. Who gives a crap, right? Get a part-time job if you have to. But as long as you're acquiring those skills to become a good plumber, as long as you're going underneath the jobs, those are things that are going to last you forever. Trust me, bro. If I had to do it again, I would have become a plumber. But regardless of whatever industry you become, even sales, stick to it. Even though you're not making any money in the first 2 years, maybe 3 years. Come on, let's be real. But you're young enough to acquire those skills to become great later on. The fruits of those benefits of generating those skills are going to benefit you greatly, even as an electrician. Because later on, you might say, you know what? There's some things that I learned. Maybe I'll post something on the internet of the things of my journey. Maybe I'll share some certain thoughts of the skills I've acquired over the course of the year that I can share. You could be 50 years old, 60 years old doing these videos. But because you've acquired the knowledge of 20 years of experience, that goes a long ways with the internet. What I'm trying to tell you is you want to be an influencer. If that's the only skill you want to have, good luck with that. But you're going to have to need other areas of your life to be able to build from that. And why not become a plumber? It's a dirty job, so who cares? I guess what I'm trying to tell you, for anyone who doesn't mind getting their hands dirty, for anyone who doesn't mind putting in the work, for anyone who looks at those industries of construction, putting your hands into something, think about what it also does to you. You're not focused on your phone. You're not sitting around scrolling through your phone when you're doing construction sites. You might think those guys are taking time off. They're hustling for the next 8 hours. That takes you away from the internet. That takes you away from thinking about, did that girl text me? Did that person? Let me think of what I could scroll through for the next 20 minutes. Oh, shoot, an hour passed by, an hour and a half passed by, and I'm still scrolling. That's not going to happen during those jobs because you'll get fired. So it gives you time away from the internet. It gives you time away from from all the stupidity that's going on in the world. You need to know about this war. You need to know about this. You need to know about what foods you eat. You need to get away from all that. It gives you a time away from the internet. It gives you a time to focus on the job you're doing, get you a skill that you want so that later on you can share it on the internet once you get home. Share those experiences about what it's like to be a construction worker once you get home. But all of these skills are going to help you later on in life. What I'm trying to get at you, even if you're past your 30s probably, go ahead and acquire a new skill because the discrepancy between a man and woman is going to grow tremendously within the 10 years. And you don't want to be the guy that's left behind, not knowing what to do with these girls, not being educated enough to have a dialect with them. You're too dumb being on the phone. You're too dumb wasting time. So go ahead and acquire the skills and that'll benefit you greatly later on. Fine, you're going to end up working anyways. If you're not going to college, you're going to end up working. But don't work at a job where it's a 9 to 5 and you're not acquiring the skills. Go ahead and get a job that's acquiring your skills that benefits you in the long run. So my video and my message to you guys that are young, don't waste time. I wasted so much time doing the same thing over and over. I hated my job. I hated everything that I did, but I never took action. Take action. Be better than me. Don't be a damn loser like I was. Go ahead and acquire some skills and benefit yourself greatly for the future.